Hey everybody, you're about to watch a brand new clip from our podcast, the Jersey Comic Krew. We're talking Warner Brothers everything. Brand new CEO,
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot could be coming on board for a big price. We have some huge topic news. Great discussion. We're starting it right now.
That's right. Warner Brothers has hired a new female CEO chairman in Ann Sarnoff. I pronounced it right?
Sarnoff?
Sarnoff?
Sarnoff? Yeah, Ann Sarnoff.
Ann. I'm going to say Ann. She originally was from the BBC.
From the BBC.
It's good that they have new direction.
Yep. Yeah. So
I said we could have cut this, but you said you have a great theory with
this is big. So we have Ann Sarnoff from the BBC who kind of was part of the ground floor of redoing the BBC.
Yes.
As like the British broadcasting channel of news and of things going on in England, and now it's like
Doctor Who,
which is huge. Sherlock, like all these shows people are like gravitated towards. Doctor Who brought it back, it's still going on. They got like some of the Star Trek rights. They do reruns of Star Trek. Like it's becoming way more mainstream. And also in the works with WB, J.J. Abrams has been shopping his company Bad Robot around.
Yes. Bad Robot's a great company.
Great company, which is also huge. And it seems like Warner Brothers is the highest in the bidding war for him.
Mm-hmm.
They really want him. I think they offered him $155 million.
Yes.
Right now for Bad Robot. You have Ann Sarnoff as your CEO, who her statement the second she came into WB is like, I'm changing a lot of shit. Like, we're going forward. We're going to do some shit.
Well, every CEO has to say that. But what's your behind the scenes conspiracy theory of Bad Robot and her?
I think Bad Robot added to WB, J.J. Abrams is the DC Kevin Feige we've been waiting for.
Here it is. It is. They're crazy.
What I think. Nope.
Your tinfoil hat on.
Nope.
Your insanity.
JJ.
I don't think so.
JJ was on the ground floor.
Okay.
Years ago.
Okay.
With a Superman script.
Yeah.
As well as production stuff and other things. Bad Robot were in talks with him with that. Remember that Justice League movie that never got off the ground?
Yes.
That they showed kind of like pictures and stuff. He is kind of the pop culture whisperer right now.
I agree with that.
Right? Star Trek. Star Wars. He's
writing Spider-Man comic book.
Spider-Man for Marvel. He's doing a miniseries. He is slowly but surely becoming the kind of like connoisseur of our time for pop culture. Greg Grunberg is a big friend of his.
Mm-hmm.
They're close friends. He's one of the pilots in episode 7 and 8.
I was about to say, tell people who Greg Grunberg is.
He's also very close friends with Kevin Smith. I think
who we do not know.
No, but we know we know the comic book man. We do though. So I think with JJ, if this deal goes through for WB, JJ doesn't have to direct everything.
No.
He could use Bad Robot as the platform along with Ann Sarnoff, who we know is big about like, hey, we need to change this and bring this into the new age. This is how we're doing things. This is how it's going to be. I think this could be a crazy good tag team for DC and making either Bad Robot producing when they redo the app more content as well as the movies, and you have what have we said for years? DC needs a Kevin Feige. You can't hire Kevin Feige because he basically runs Marvel. You need a mind that can meld and create and plan out this universe, and then hand the reins to a director that is shaping that vision in their own way, but within the confines at the same time of the direction you're going towards.
I think this has nothing to do with the movie universe. I think this
Robot's a movie production
company. I understand. Hear me out. Here's my tinfoil hot take.
I think you're just hating on what I
said. Yeah, you said, but you touched on it.
I was very excited about this.
The app.
Yes, the app.
So I think that J.J. Abrams, the production company Bad Robot, is going to go and rescue the app, the DC Universe app. I think that's going to become the production company for them.
Why?
It's all going to go through there. I feel like between the movie universe, which they kind of seem like they're rebounding, right? Slowly. A
little bit.
Set of differences aside, they may or may not be rebounding on their own. The biggest trouble, and where a lot of the profits and a lot of the focus, it seems to be, is on the app, and it's not doing well. I feel like if I bring J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Company into this, you know what? I think they could turn around the app. I think they could give more structure to the app. They could give more funding. They could allow things to be controlled. You don't have to worry about WB execs and coming down on the app. You could let J.J. Abrams be the Kevin Feige of something smaller. Because I feel like WB and AT&T are very controlling. So I feel like, all right, if we give them the app and they can handle that kind of stuff, he could do very well there before they let him do the Kevin Feige. I feel like, yes, they need a Kevin Feige. They want a Kevin Feige. But I don't think they are willing to release control of the controls, if you will, of their movie universe, and they give them that.
I disagree 100%. Okay. Respectfully, of course. My middle finger is a soft middle finger. It's very light. If first of all, $155 million for a company, for you to bring them into your realm, I'm throwing you at the thing that's going to make me the fucking most money on top of everything else, and that's the movies, right? Yes, AT&T. You said AT&T and WB are controlling. I agree, but there is no company more controlling than Disney. No company more controlling than Disney. And look what they have done, even with that amount of crazy control. Disney does not let anything out of their platforms. You cannot do anything without Disney's consent.
Okay.
Way more so than WB and AT&T, because WB and AT&T are kind of like in disarray, which is what it seems like they're trying to get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Abrams is not a small-time director. He's not a small-time company owner. He's not a small-time anything anymore.
I agree.
If you are bringing the name of J.J. Abrams into your company, you are focused on feature film. The app, yes, is important. They need to redo it. I think that step right now is within the company. I think that step right now is we need to figure out, like, number one, are we expanding this to our entire WB Warner Brothers line of content, not just DC, right? Number two, is the new name, where's this accessibility?
Okay.
We got to get this access before we do anything else. And then number three is content.
Here's a different
With
angle.
movies, I think they are in so much disarray and confusion. And is this movie connected? Is this part of the DC universe? Is this by itself? We have Joker. That's by itself. Aquaman is kind of connected to the DC universe. Shazam, yes and no. Well, yes, because of a cameo that wasn't Henry Cavill.
Which is still fantastic.
Still cool. But is this the direction we want to go in? Our fans are confused. The money we're making is solid. It's not great off these movies compared to Marvel.
No.
We need someone to come in and right the ship and write what we're doing with these films. Because if not, we're just going to put out more content. You have, arguably, DC has, next year, has way more stuff coming out than Marvel. Marvel has 2 films coming out next year.
Yeah.
Right? DC has, in the works, the James Gunn Suicide Squad 2, which is basically a reboot. Wonder Woman
That's
2.
not next year. That's the year after.
That's the year after. But Wonder Woman 2.
Yes.
You have all this shit in the works, and you have all these movies that were planned out, right? We had that timeline of DC movies.
Yeah.
But nothing is coming to fruition. The Flash movie, who knows? Green Lantern Corps, who knows?
No, Flash movie's been canceled. It's not happening.
Like, you need someone to come in and say, we are going to do this all in-house using this company, using this person's mind who is great for this type of project. And we just paid him $155 million to house that company, and we're going to rebrand with him. That is your Kevin Feige. 100%.
I have another angle for you.
And I'll give you the app needs also that care. But Warner Brothers is a movie company first. They always have been. Like, the WB channel has been around forever, and Kids WB and all that stuff, you know, when we were kids and that nostalgic loveliness. But they were a movie company first, and that's what you need to work on. Whether it's, you know, your Harry Potter stuff, your superhero stuff, that stuff needs to be in alignment prior to your, you know, app. And arguably you can do it at the same time. You're a huge fucking company. But those movies need that access.
Another angle we both haven't talked about, which you kind of just touched on for like 2 seconds during your rant. What if it doesn't have to do with DC?
Meaning like Star Trek or whatever. Like
Not even.
Okay, like his own
original project. So we have.
Would you give him $155 million if you don't want him to touch DC?
$155 million is not that much when you compare to getting
Like
the
the
office for
billions.
500
Yeah,
million. You know what I
agreed,
mean? It's
agreed.
not that. So it could be like, all right, let's not put all of our eggs in one basket.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not put everything in DC. Harry Potter is still there. Why don't we create some new IP? Why don't you be your own production company? I mean, it could just help production,
Yep.
movie making company. It's still great, even if they don't have anything. But like, all right, we need to have something else too, because Disney doesn't do only superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
They have all this other stuff. We need to diversify our portfolio,
I agree.
and they could create a whole new line with him doing something completely different.
I 100% agree that could be a part of it.
They could just do all sci-fi, like their own.
And he's
unique
great at sci-fi.
IP sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's because Star Wars is taking a break.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek.
And that's Disney anyway.
Correct.
So that'll be
That
regardless.
is Disney anyway. Star Trek is kind of like on the low totem pole in
Movies.
pop culture universe.
Mhm.
If they create this new IP from him that does, maybe the BBC inspired stuff and all this kind of stuff, maybe they bring Doctor. They can't bring Doctor Who, right? It's all BBC, but
No.
something like that inspire like their own unique IP into that sci-fi world, which we're getting. We're seeing all these shows are coming back. We saw Jordan Peele bring back
Twilight Zone.
We've seen all this sci-fi coming back. I think that is a bigger possibility.
I'm totally on board with that.
Okay.
And here's the thing, like, we don't have to look at this linear either.
True.
Meaning, like, it's not like they're going to say, hey, JJ, we want to hire you and we want to bring Bad Robot into WB. And we're paying you $155 million. And JJ says, yes, I'm on board. What is it that I'm doing? Your job is to create all this new IP and new sci-fi and blah, blah, blah. You can work on multiple projects.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's not like Hollywood isn't linear like that. Like,
No.
everything is, especially nowadays, everything is like, all right, we're going to spend time doing this, then we're doing this, and doing this, and we're going to world build here, and we're going to start new IP. Like, look at Disney, right?
I get it.
Everything's, they're making millions of dollars off of things we've seen. You know? All the new live action Disney movies is all shit that we've seen. They're putting out Lion King, it's going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing with just live action. So, if you're Warner Brothers, I'm saying, hey, JJ, we really want the DC universe to work. We really want this to have, like, capitalize on what's going on, right? We are in an age of pop culture and superheroes right now. Superheroes are mainstream. That's where the money's making at the box office. You need to get, if you're a company, I'm saying, like, listen, we need to write this ship. This is where we're going to make our nut and expand to do those other things. This is where we're going to add more content for these DC superhero fans and get the ship right so the fans that love Marvel will love this stuff too. And we're going to get this ship right so we can expand and do all the other stuff we want to do and have more money to do those things.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I don't think it's just a linear equation where Bad Robot and JJ is saying, hey, you are a sci-fi master. You're going to come in and do this, Space Odyssey that we're going to do. And we're going to do a huge sci-fi Royal Rumble, our own kind of fix and mix, and then we're going to do Harry Potter and this and stuff. Like over here,
It could also be nothing.
that's definitely something. But
It could also be like, all right, we have a production company. You're going to help produce some movies.
I don't know.
I think it's a
too-
waste. I'm just saying. There's a lot
His
of
name is way
possibilities.
too big. I think my guess, my hypothesis would be, we want you to be the Kevin Feige of DC, write the ship with DC, as well as work on other expanded projects. Once the DC universe starts working, and we get really good money for this, and then we can expand outwards.
Could be.
And create more creator-owned content.
It could be.
Especially if they're going to do an app. Creator-owned content. That's my hypothesis. Let us know what you think.
Yes. Let us know down in the comments below what you think of J.J. Abrams joining WB's empire.
Hopefully.
What do you think of that DC officially is ending Vertigo and Vertigo is coming in? What do you think of... I was going to say House of Cards.
Stranger
What do you think of Stranger Things Season 3, the
What do you
trailer?
think of House
Are
of
you
Cards?
excited? Are you watching DC Universe? Let us know down in the comments below.
I'd love to know who's watching DC Universe and what people think about that.
Yes.
That's a big one.
It's
Because especially
great.
with the way it's accessible, it's really tough. So, but when you watch it, it's awesome. So let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know in the comments.
All right, guys, that ends this episode of the Jersey Comic Krew podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. As we just said, let us know down in the comments below of what you were thinking. Make sure you follow us and continue the conversation on our social media links down in the link below, our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are always talking there. As always, if you want to leave a like, comment, subscribe on the video, it helps us a lot. And if you listen to the audio version of this, that is awesome. Make sure you give us a review on iTunes and Spotify and share this with all your friends. As always, I'm Rob Moran.
And I'm Chris Heller.
And stay tuned. In a couple of days, you're going to get some more content from us.
Woo!